Lesson 132. I loose the world from all I thought it was.
Hi there. Today's lesson is another powerful one from A Course in Miracles, and it will help us understand the mighty power of our thoughts in perceiving and ultimately changing our reality. Do not overlook today's ideas. Do not overlook Lesson 132.
I loose the world from all I thought it was.
Our beliefs can either save the world or keep it in chains. Our thoughts are extremely powerful, and the effects of illusions are as strong as those of truth.
Illusions are as strong in their effects as is the truth.
It's madness to consider the world we see as real, yet we seldom doubt it. Simply questioning the effects of our thoughts won't change anything. Only when we question the source of our thoughts can we find hope for our freedom. Salvation is indeed easily achieved, as we have the freedom to change our mind, thoughts, and their sources. Changing our mind means freeing the past from our previous thoughts, and the future from the burden of seeking what we don't want to find. The present moment remains the only time there is. By letting go of the past and releasing the future from our fears, we can escape our own miseries and free the world as well. Our beliefs have kept the world prisoner because of all our fears, doubts, sorrows, tears, and thoughts of death.
The world is nothing in itself. Your mind must give it meaning.
We give meaning to the world we see with our mind. What we see in it is simply a reflection of our own wishes. We may feel like we came unwillingly to an already made world, but the truth is that we found exactly what we were looking for.
There is no world apart from what you wish, and herein lies your ultimate release. Change but your mind on what you want to see, and all the world must change accordingly.
This is a central idea of A Course in Miracles. When we change our mind, the world changes accordingly. Because ideas never leave their source. It is essential to understand that we made the world we see and shaped it with our thoughts. A Course in Miracles teaches us that there is no world apart from ourselves. It is not pride to recognize that we made the world we see, it is actually pride to think otherwise.
There is no world.
While not everyone is ready to accept this truth, those who are, can receive the gift of healing through the lesson. This lesson may come suddenly at the point of death, in experiences beyond this world, or through the exercises we will do today in this course.
I loose the world from all I thought it was.
Today's idea is true because the world does not exist, it's just our own imagining. Therefore, we can free it from all the attributes we ever thought it had by changing the thoughts that gave this world its appearances. By letting go of thoughts of sickness, the sick are healed, and by replacing thoughts of death with thoughts of life, we can bring the dead back to life. This course and the exercises we do today will help some of us discover this truth. You might remember one of the most repeated lessons in A Course in Miracles.
I am as God created me.
Let's repeat it again, as it represents the foundation for today's idea.
I am as God created me.
This truth implies that we cannot truly suffer or change our eternal nature. If we remain as God created us, how can a world of time and space exist? Today's lesson reveals that knowing our inner self is the salvation of the world. We can release the world from suffering by changing our thoughts about ourselves, as our thoughts are the source of the world we see. If we are as God created us, we cannot think apart from Him or create anything that lacks His timelessness and love. If the world we see lacks these qualities, then it is not real and does not exist. The thought of God created us, and our thoughts created the world, but we hold the power to free it by changing our thoughts. Let's release the world today. Our true creations await this release, so we may share fatherhood with God, who sees no distinctions between what He is and what He creates. What He creates is part of Him, and there is no separation between the Father and the Son. We are not separate from God. There is no world because the idea of a world separate from God would mean breaking apart God's wholeness. Could such a world exist anywhere? Let's deny these illusions and accept the truth. We are not shadows on a dying world. Let's release our mind and see a world set free. Today, our purpose is to free the world from all idle thoughts we ever had about it, and all the living things in it. In truth, they cannot exist separate from God, and neither can we. We are at home where our Father set us along with His creation. And, as we are created by Him, we have the power to free the world from all illusions today so we can be free. Twice today, let's begin our 15-minute practice periods by saying,
I, who remain as God created me, would loose the world from all I thought it was. For I am real because the world is not, and I would know my own reality.
I, who remain as God created me, would loose the world from all I thought it was. For I am real because the world is not, and I would know my own reality.
I, who remain as God created me, would loose the world from all I thought it was. For I am real because the world is not, and I would know my own reality.
Then, let's simply rest in a state of alert quietness, without pressure, allowing our mind to be changed so that the world is freed, along with us. As we bless the world with our thoughts, healing will reach far and wide, touching those near and far from us. Though we may not realize it, we will sense our own release, and even if we may not yet fully understand it, we can never be released alone. Throughout the day, let's expand the freedom we send out to the world through our thoughts. Whenever doubts arise, let's reaffirm the power of our simple change of mind by saying,
I loose the world from all I thought it was, and choose my own reality instead.
I loose the world from all I thought it was, and choose my own reality instead.
I loose the world from all I thought it was, and choose my own reality instead.
What do you think of this lesson? How do you feel about your progress so far? Have you noticed the positive changes in your life as you continue to practice these lessons? As it is said at the very beginning of this lesson, our thoughts are mighty, and illusions are as strong in their effects as is the truth. We probably understand that intellectually, and maybe we agree to a certain extent. But we always forget that when we need to make decisions and navigate our lives, our perceptions are flawed, and our thoughts are misleading. Yet, do we ever question them? Do we question our perception of a brother when we are tempted to judge? Do we question our interpretations of someone's actions when we feel the need to respond, maybe defensively? Do we question our thoughts about a situation before entering it and navigating it through our actions? Aren't we always conditioned by our past and all our automatic responses to different situations? These are some of the most profound and powerful questions we can ask ourselves. However, this lesson not only teaches us to ask ourselves these questions but also tells us something very powerful. We just need to change our thoughts about what we want to see, and all the world must change accordingly. Isn't that powerful beyond our wildest expectations? Shall we give it a try today? Keep up the good work, you're doing great. See you tomorrow for another powerful lesson. Quick note before you go. Making these videos is a labor of love, but it's still financially challenging. If you've found value in what you've watched, please consider supporting with a donation. Even the humblest contribution means the world and ensures the continuation of these daily lessons. Thank you for your generosity.
Did you enjoy the video and find it helpful? Please give it a like and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We have a new lesson every day. And if you've been with us for a while, please consider supporting the channel. There's a lot of love behind these videos. Check out the video description for more details.